Smack. Welcome to Super Smack.
Welcome to Super Smack.
The Super Rugby podcast from the fans, for the fans.
It is round 12, the end of.
It was round 12.
And boy,
oh God.
boy, were there some happenings this weekend. Oh, what, mate?
Sorry, mate.
What's that? You had a little bit
nervous.
something to eat. You had a little something to eat.
No, mate. I've been nervous about this since about 9:30 last night.
I've got a photo of you from the pub last night, and you're just like this. You're just like head in your hands.
Like when you lost to the Blues at Eden Park, it's the same thing. You've snapped me. You snapped me losing.
And you're just like, you're grumpy, but then you're quite like, you don't get too sulky like I did.
I tried my best, mate.
You get
Takes
a
a lot.
you get a bit like, no, the Hurricanes deserve it. Yeah, no, they're really good.
I'm like Dave Delator.
Yes,
we try to get in first.
You guys
hey, well
are the
done,
same.
mate. Big handshake. Congratulations
you're
on the
not
win.
used to losing, and you don't like it.
I hate it, mate.
Mate.
Oh shit! Oh, mate.
It
What are
hadn't
you up to?
reset.
Hang on, mate. Let's start it again. Oh God.
No, you got to let it play out.
Oh really? Okay.
News.
What's the news?
Well, the news is, and I'm sorry, we just got to make it a headline announcement. Obviously, you probably guessed we are talking about the Hurricanes beating quite considerably and convincingly the Chiefs last night in Wellington. And Ra and I were watching it together. And I mean, look, it's very satisfying because the Hurricanes just played out of their skin, mate. And we knew they had to. But they delivered.
Did they what?
And they delivered in the second half where the Chiefs were point scoreless.
We didn't score
for
a
the
point.
first time.
Yeah, we got put in our place in that second half, that's for sure. We actually went into the second half. I was pretty confident at the end of that. I mean, I thought we were lucky to get that second Rona try.
Yeah, I mean, the
good
intercept
defense from
was...
Fino,
Yeah.
and that silly
He
little
set
pass
that up.
from Proctor, which Rona lapped up. And I sort of thought maybe, let's back our second half skills, but... Boy, oh boy.
Didn't happen, mate.
Not happen at all.
Out-muscled.
Yep.
Outclassed.
Yep.
You don't want me to say this,
Yeah, carry
mate.
up.
You were. You weren't really the
No.
usual. You weren't your usual
They
self.
didn't show up.
And Jacob had not a good game.
No, he had a bit of a shocker. And you know what? I think that was pressure. It was it was everyone in that Hurricanes team was putting pressure on defensively. But I think just the game that Ruben Love played just put a whole lot of pressure on. And I'm kind of he looked a little bit sort of run down and tired yesterday, Josh Jacob. And I'm wondering whether maybe it was kind of like a night before Christmas scenario where he was either a little bit excited, but also maybe like shitting himself.
I reckon things went so well against the Force that he was like, "You've got this, Josh.
Yeah.
You can make this 10 jersey yours while D-Mac's away." And he stuffed it up.
He didn't get enough sleep.
He didn't get enough sleep.
He was looking at the clock and it was seeing it go midnight, seeing it go 1:32, seeing it go 3:15.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh God, I'm not going to be a good way." Gets up, walking around the dressing room like a zombie.
I think what he's done is he's tried to take a nap in the afternoon on Saturday, and he's maybe missed the team bus, and he was a bit flustered.
He didn't miss it. He only just got there.
Got there.
The guy was shutting the door and he had to be like, and so he didn't get fined or anything.
Yeah.
He's in there, but he was tired.
And he's left one boot in his hotel room, so he's had to send one of the team.
His mum.
Yeah,
his mum's come down. His mum's come down for the game from Taranaki.
Yeah. And she's had to go into the Intercontinental, which is where they usually stay, right? That's where the All Blacks used to stay.
That would be the worst feeling to leave your... In fact, I feel I used to have nightmares about leaving my boots at home, coming to a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever got that.
We used to have this thing, I can't remember which team it was, but it was definitely JMC, where if you didn't bring your mouth guard, you just had to pick one out of the team bag. There was a pocket of like used, disgusting mouth guards. And you had to like put some boiling water on it and chuck it in your mouth.
And reshape it.
Yeah.
And reshape it.
Yeah, because you
can remold them over and over again, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but you had to use one that someone else had already molded.
Well, I mean, I guess the saving grace is that you are putting it in boiling water.
Yeah.
And ideally...
Yeah, the bugs were killed.
The bugs were killed.
But that's pretty disgusting. I mean, imagine adults doing that.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be absolutely feral.
Well,
to do that,
it'd be awful. But kids are pretty feral. Mate, what are you going to do, mate? Because you've been talking.
Hey.
Hang on, you'd been talking all of this up, going, oh, this isn't really one that the Chiefs need to win. It's one that the Hurricanes need to win.
Well, that's still true. I still stand by that.
Mate.
It wasn't a need to win.
Mate.
It was. I mean, obviously, you want to win every game. What I'm saying is that the Hurricanes were in a position where they absolutely needed to win this game.
We're desperate for wins at this end of the season,
and they showed up with that exact, attitude.
Yeah. Can I just ask you something, though?
Yeah, what is it?
Who are you playing next week?
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're going down to Christchurch and we're going to play the Crusaders.
So would you say that you need to win this game against the Crusaders?
Yeah, now that we lost last night. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because we were talking before, out of the 2 games that you needed to win, you really should have won last night's one and maybe let yourself lose against the Crusaders.
I mean, it would have been nice to at least win one of these 2 games going into the bye week. But what we've got is we've got Moana, which are no easy beat. We've just seen them sort of take down the Highlanders.
Second division Highlanders.
But they're definitely not an easy beat. So I'm not counting my chickens, especially after last night. I'm not counting my chickens.
They've beaten the Crusaders.
Exactly.
They've beaten the Hurricanes.
Our Highlanders are probably going to be an easy win. Judging from what's happened.
The Hurricanes will, I mean, I think both our teams will beat the Highlanders. Yeah. The Highlanders just they don't quite have it. But
so
mate,
with 2 wins, we're still going to be in the finals. I think
we're still going to be in the finals, but you really want to hold on to that top position of, I mean, ideally,
at least the top 2. What we want is that extra game in hand.
Are you playing them in Christchurch next week too?
Yeah. It's going to be tough.
Oof. Mate.
Well, mate, at least we've got the opportunity to score some points. You've got to buy next week.
Well, that's fine. We'll be lovely and relaxed and then come in and smash the Highlanders.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you feeling all good about it? Like, I mean, are you nervous? Is this making you a bit
No,
worried?
you know what?
Are the wheels falling off, mate?
I don't think so. You know
What's
what? And
going on?
I think this is a bloody... I want to thank you and the Hurricanes.
My pleasure, mate. Trust me, my pleasure.
For a lovely little wake-up call into the run home,
Maybe that is right. I mean, you'll come to Christchurch with a fire for sure.
Yeah.
And righting some of those mistakes. I mean, ideally D-Mac is back. I'm not sure how his hand thing is,
Yeah,
but mate,
we
you can't be relying on one little
one
dwarf,
one great player.
But I mean, you've got. I mean, we know you've got a shitload. You and the Crusaders a shitload of good players.
And you know what? There were some really good players last night playing for the Chiefs. They just didn't really. They didn't really show up.
And I got to say, the Hurricanes are now benefiting. Speaking of good players, from getting some of theirs back. So the Proctor-Higgins combo is looking scintillating.
All of your
Wellington
midfielders
Lions
have done well, haven't they?
those Wellington Lions boys, they're good, man. I mean, I personally think they are the future. Forget your Tapires.
Well, and let's not forget him. He still actually had a really good game last night.
I'm just ripping you. But
he made the advantage line pretty much every time he carried, which was great.
Yeah, the Higgins Proctor combo. You know when you just see those combos, and I love it that they play for the same team. It just reminds me of who, and you go, oh, that's great to see them.
They'll need to play 100 and something tests to get to that level. So let's not get too carried away.
But they're
very good.
They're
yes,
very
I
good.
agree.
Young, raring to go.
There should be a couple of those names in your midfield in the All Blacks contention now.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, Higgins will be definitely one in the future. I'm not sure where he slots in, but he's just got a great natural read of the game. And so does Quinn. But you know my thoughts on Quinn. I think he might be unlucky.
Yeah, same with Ta'avao.
I know. I think so.
Too.
Haylen
Sullivan.
Oh, 4 tries. Well done. And poor Kenny Naholo, because that sucks, man.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for Kenny. And I've seen that replay a couple of times. It's just really awkward.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, mate,
it's like
I don't know.
Instead of just like,
Wanker of the Week. Just going to bring in an early award here.
Yeah, okay.
The ghost that got Kenny Naholo.
You think there was a
ghost?
ghost?
Wanker of the Week. Well, he looked untouched. He literally it looked like he got sniped.
Who out there that's dead would want to bring down Kenny Naholo?
I don't know.
Waisaki Naholo's still alive, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. Maybe he was it was a voodoo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he's somewhere and
What, you mean someone's up in a dressing room with a pin and goes
Yeah,
into
he's
his
in
leg.
New Orleans. He's seen some witch doctor in the bottom of the French Quarter and got himself a voodoo doll in the shape of Kenny.
Man.
And he's getting the little pin out and just whacked it into the side of his knee.
What you got to say to me, Kenny?
And then he's gone for a big feed of crawfish.
Oh, crawfish.
Yeah.
A jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
He's had a hot jambalaya.
And then he's gone down and get a lovely wee hot beignet with the old dusting of icing sugar on that dessert.
Yeah. So you're saying that Kenny's been in New Orleans sometime in the last 6 months?
No, not Kenny.
Oh,
I'm saying
the witch
Waisaki's
doctor.
there.
Oh, Waisaki's there.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's doing the...
Yeah, it's just...
That's weird.
Why is he messing with his brother, right?
Well,
I don't really get it.
It's really strange if there is a conspiracy for him to mess with his brother, maybe to see him not ever make the All Blacks and be as successful, so that at Christmases he's still that guy. Like he's still the dude. Because everyone, of course, because Waisaki's, wherever he is, everyone's going to be talking about Kenny, because Kenny this, Kenny that. And he's like, fuck this. I'm going to go over to and get straight online, books a ticket to New Orleans, just to go put a pin in a fucking voodoo doll.
Jesus.
Takes a photo of him over and a lock of his hair.
Look, he's got not much hair, though. A lock.
What, a bit of skin then?
A pube.
A pube. Bit of ass hair.
Or maybe we'll go get the hair straight off his knee.
Yeah.
So they know that's like pinpoint.
So that's how you do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. I mean, there's an art to it. Speaking of other good players, Karifi. Duplessis.
And you know what?
The guy's on another level. How does he, mate?
He just goes hard.
A good question. Do you think he's going to die early?
Well, you know what I think? I mean,
no.
Just
I hope
judging
he
from
doesn't.
how he plays, and maybe I could be a little bit wrong on this because I feel like he seems a little bit sort of calmer in his post-match interviews and stuff.
He's very eloquent.
I reckon he does everything a million miles an hour, man. And I think he just goes hard, like doing the dishes. He's just like fucking get in there. There's soap flying everywhere. Smashes 3 plates every time he does the dishes.
Just walking.
Yeah, doing the washing. He's just like whacking it up on the washing line.
Just even walking to take it, even pissing. He's just like
And if he was
really hard.
If he was to pass early, I think it's probably an eating related thing. I just don't think he's chewing enough.
No.
I think he's just really getting it down.
So you reckon he'd be hammering the low sec?
Yeah, I reckon he's like you and my dad.
Yeah.
He just doesn't chew quite enough. Gets it down there.
Yeah.
He's just really
And do you reckon and his mum would have been like, Duplessis, slow down.
Yeah.
My mum always used to go, Gareth, it's not a race.
Yeah.
And I go, fucking is.
Imagine that.
If you're making mince that good, mum, it's a race.
At Kindy, he just would have been the guy that whacked everything, like
Yeah. No, he is immense.
He
and
was
obviously
immense.
Probably has played himself into the All Blacks now. On the bench, probably still.
Yeah.
Considering we have a glut of wonderful Lucies in this country.
There are some bloody good Lucies.
There are some good ones.
But I think what also Karifi's done is he started passing out his pre-workout. And there's one particular player who I think had an absolute stunner.
Who?
Player of the day.
Get on you, mate.
We got to give it to Ruben Love.
Yep.
I think he had an absolute machine of a game.
Yep.
He was some amazing kick passes. He was running the show. His intensity was insane.
Yeah. Love was in the air in Wellington for sure.
Absolutely. A couple of times he had a little jig after kicking the ball. He was just like he was. There was so much energy coursing through his body.
Yeah, he stuffed one thing up at one time, which was probably the only bad thing he'd done all game, and he got so angry at himself. He was swearing. He was like, "You're stupid," and he was holding himself to a high standard.
He
of
was
rugby
quite
last
scary.
night.
Their stress levels going through his body would have been immense. I don't think he can keep that up for the rest of the season. He needs to calm down between games.
But a visionary performance last
Absolutely.
night. He really controlled it, and we were talking earlier about the fact that he's kind of the fourth 10 that we've been through this year. Brett Cameron was gone. We lost
Brett
Harry
Cameron
Godfrey
on the way back as well.
Yeah, but at the moment, you certainly don't get rid of whatever is the gameplay that's working with Love, and not just him, but then Higgins and Proctor outside him. Whatever, and then you look inside and you go, Roygaard's. That's a hell of a backline, really.
It is now. Yes.
That is now making that. And the Hurricanes have always been a backline. That's been their strength since the very dawn of the team.
And I guess what we got to look at now. Who have you got next? I know you've got.
We've got the Highlanders next,
and then
in
after
Dunedin.
that,
oh no, maybe actually at home.
have you got a bit of an easy run into the finals?
We haven't got the. I think we've got to play you again. No, the Crusaders again. We do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not the easiest run, but it's certainly the. I think I'm not as honestly. The early Hurricanes, I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm going with these
confident.
players, but it's the Hurricanes of last year now. We've got our players back that saw us as the top of the table last year. It makes a lot more sense is what I'm saying, that the Hurricanes are playing well. They're a good team.
So you think you're gonna?
They were
what do you
burnt.
think you're gonna do? Think you're gonna make the?
We're definitely gonna make the playoffs. You guys are quite a way. Well, you're about 10
with three
10
three
points
wins
clear.
ahead of you.
Yeah, there's potential. I mean, you're probably going to lose next week in Christchurch.
Let's not get probable about it.
Possible then. Let's get
It's
possible about it.
But it's possible that we're also going to get a lovely wee win as a rebound from an awful performance.
From an awful toxic relationship with the Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes.
An 80-minute relationship.
Yeah, and you certainly got your revenge. I mean, that's what you were looking for. And there was a bit of an air about this game.
Yeah,
I know,
there
and
was.
you got into my head. I will admit, you definitely got in there. You definitely
Yeah.
squirreled your way into my mind.
I tried to get into Dave Delatour's head too.
Yeah.
And you got
You lured me into the Kingslander of all bars to watch
with a bunch of Hurricanes fans.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen what you've done there. I'm going to learn from that, Gareth.
You just can't get cocky. You can't get cocky. Dave Delatour got in the car after work on Friday. I said, "Will be lovely. Hurricanes win coming to, mate." And he just laughed. Well, there you go. Never get cocky, mate. Never get cocky. My player of the day. Yeah, actually, I'm going to leave this on. Was Balin Sullivan.
4 tries.
4 tries, and his combination with Ruben Love proved to be the killer last night. So I just want to say...
He was on the wing, wasn't he?
He was. So he's not only had a barnstormer in the centres this year, but
so
also
were they just
on the
yelling at each other from...
They were just yelling across.
Yeah, that was the connection.
So I just want to say, shout out Balin, and I hope you continue to play well. Why do you always cut it off before the big bits?
It gets a bit rocky, mate.
Oh, you don't like that, You
like
just
it.
love it.
I like the
Maybe we
jazz.
should get a new track.
Maybe. I don't
Or
like the start of it. It's
cut
nice.
it so that it just finishes
we
there.
should probably cut it.
All right. Well, it feels really good. Still felt
I
good
bet
this
it does.
morning. I know you're hurting.
I am hurting.
But you deserve it.
I think, now it's up for both of these teams to back it up. It's up to you guys to back it up and make sure that you actually finish off the season and get into the playoffs. Because you've still got a bit of work to do.
Yeah.
It's not all over. You've got to bye this week, so you'll probably slip out of the top 6 if the results go against you this week.
Yeah.
It's still tight.
It's still tight. It's just interesting that it feels like the Crusaders, to me, feel like almost maybe one of the only teams that you 100% back to maybe go all the way. Like, it's funny, the Chiefs sometimes have a habit of, like, we're all losing to each other. It's an interesting competition. I certainly, they're the team I'd be really worried about.
Yeah, last night does definitely not instill a huge amount of confidence, but we've also had enough performances this year to know that we've got the abilities.
Goods.
Yeah.
Well,
and you guys do as well. You've had 3 good games this season.
Thank you. Yeah, we have when it counts, eh? You just win the big ones, eh?
Well, yeah.
The Brumbies for the first time in 7 years.
You beat
The Chiefs in revenge fashion for your beating of us in the semi last year.
And who else did you beat?
I can't even remember. Oh, the Drua.
The Drua.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Waratahs.
Oh, you beat. So you've had. Oh, yeah. Straight. Yeah. So the Drua wasn't necessarily a good game. It was just a little.
And
win.
the Highlanders. We've beaten a few people, mate. You just
had 5 wins.
You're just spouting shit.
I think
what you're spouting.
what I'm saying is that there's been 3 complete performances. I think.
Well, I mean, the Waratahs one was particularly special.
But
I'd say last night
was good.
Trumps them all.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the sweetest of them all.
Yeah.
And I would say I feel sorry for you.
You don't.
But I don't.
You don't.
I just don't, mate.
Fair enough.
You've got it all. Life O'Reilly, you've got it all.
I don't have it all, mate. We don't have a title since 2013.
I know.
And I want it.
I did get a little, as I do, I went online with the Super Smack account and I've gone around a few posts commenting on things.
I know, mate. I always open that Instagram app and flick over to the Super Smack side, and there's always a bunch of like little comments and little likes from other people. You always post something after the Hurricanes win. Do a little Instagram
mate,
takeover.
You can do that.
I
Just
know,
have pride in your team, mate.
I should. No, I do have pride in my team,
It's
and
okay.
we'll get there, boys.
Yeah.
The Chiefs deserve a little title hunt for their performances over the last few years, and hopefully this is going to be the one.
They certainly
I still
do.
back him.
They certainly do.
We'll come back, boys.
Come on, Chiefies.
Come on, Chiefs. Come on, Canes. Let's make it interesting.
There's got to be something good to come out of Hamilton.
My
Blues,
sister lives there.
I said something good.
Oh, come on, mate.
Oh, no,
Don't
your
be rude
sister's
to her.
lovely. No, she's lovely.
Don't
Which
worry,
one?
She doesn't listen. Bianca.
Oh, yeah.
She
Lovely.
lives there.
Yep.
Corfway.
Yep.
She killed her cow the other day for meat.
Oh, intentionally.
Yeah.
Okay.
She raised the cow. Yeah, I had some schnitzel. It was actually quite nice.
You eat a lot of schnitzel, of course, being an Austrian family.
Yeah. But I don't eat a lot of meat, and I purposely wanted to eat this because it was something that she had read, and it was really nice. There is something good to come out of.
There is something good, and lovely gardens as well in Hamilton.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
They're good.
I thought they were quite beautiful in terms of local gardens.
Yeah, I guess. Should we talk about the
Blues Force?
Yeah,
that was Friday night's game at Eden Park. Didn't get along to that one.
No,
I couldn't be bothered.
I was a bit busy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, same.
The family in town.
Yes, you did. It was a quiet night. And
one thing though, earlier in the week, I ran into Ben O'Keefe.
Yes,
actually, at a local Greyland restaurant.
I saw that.
He was having a lovely time with his girlfriend, his partner. I'm not sure how
Wilhelmina. I think that fiance.
Right, fiance.
I think so.
Looking very loved up. Yeah. They're a cute couple.
And so what you're saying, mate, is that you kind of went and rudely interrupted what was a lovely romantic
what
date.
I did is I got seated a couple of seats down. I sort of checked
deliberately.
Yep. No. I just made sure that it was in fact Ben because you hate seeing your stars, the people that you respect. It's
never meet your heroes.
You never meet your heroes. You see them on TV every week, and then all of a sudden he's right in front of me.
Yeah, and you got a little bit nervy.
Well, no, I just kind of was like thinking about how I was going to ask him for just a little chat and a little photo because I wanted to chuck something up on the socials. And
yeah, it's good. We talk about Ben, a decent amount.
We talked about him a lot, and I did
mostly positive too.
I just waited till they'd finished their dessert, and he was sort of getting his jacket ready to put on, and so I went up and hey mate, I do this podcast with my friend Gareth, and you've come up on the show a couple of times. I didn't say for what. Didn't talk about the steps.
No.
By the way, he does have a little grey streak.
Okay, it's not. He hasn't
not steps.
carved steps into his.
It's definitely a grey streak.
All right.
Lovely man. And you know what?
Yeah.
What my big takeaway was that he was super relaxed, just an average, lovely man.
Okay.
And I asked him about the game this weekend.
Average, lovely man.
Just a lovely man.
That's your summary of Ben O'Keefe.
Maybe not average.
Just an average, lovely man.
I just feel like you expect refs to be maybe a little bit highly strung, or like the pressure's getting to them, or no. He was ready for a lovely wee game with the Blues,
and he was relaxed, and he had a good game actually.
Yeah, and I flicked him $500 to just help the Blues get over the line.
You're match fixing, aren't you? That's the truth.
No, I wouldn't say match fixing. Just
you hunted him down.
I'm lobbying.
You weren't even going to Lillian for dinner. You just went, hey babe, can we just go here for dinner? It's like, I really want to go home tonight. Oh, no. If you just hear me out, can we just go get a couple of little starters?
Just a couple of just the burrata and the.
There's Ben O'Keefe. Fancy that.
Yeah. Wow. Hey Ben.
Yeah. Hey mate.
No, he's really nice guy.
The Blues turned up to play for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty convincing win from them.
Absolutely.
Bowden Barrett, looking back to his wild best.
I didn't even think you were going to bring him up this week.
I'm always going to bring him up.
Okay.
What I'm impressed about is that he just seems to be getting better and better and more solid in that 10 jersey, and it's so good to see.
Well, it's about time. He's been playing in that 10 jersey for a long time.
But mate, he hasn't. This is the thing. They took it off him, both in the All Blacks and the Blues.
Yeah, true.
They insisted playing the guy at 15.
And he still had a lot of time in that jersey.
He's slotted back into what I believe is his natural position. Ryan O'Kane would disagree with me for some reason, but he looks good at that. And I would start him, and I'll put D-Mac at 15 or on the bench. That's what I'd do at the moment.
Yeah. He's definitely not a better 15 than either Will Jordan or D-Mac, I think. But he potentially could be a better first five than D-Mac.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very fair comment, actually. Definitely not a better 15 than them.
Not at this stage.
Although
he's
had some,
he has in the
very,
past, he definitely has been.
Just one of those players you got to have him there. And I guess you just start. It's horses for courses, isn't it?
What does that mean?
Well, you work it out per game. Like who's the first five you need to be starting this particular game against this particular team.
What's the horses for courses?
Well,
thing
different horses for different
course.
different courses. Depending on what your long runners, short runners.
I've always wondered about that. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we've cleared that up.
Great. Hey, Carlo Tizzano was back.
Yes.
He scored 2 tries, one of them disallowed, but he's back, and now he's got the record, right?
He's on 12 equal.
Oh, 12 equal.
Yeah, because I think Hoskins has got that obviously last year, but I believe Sevu, I think, has it as well. There's a couple of there's a few players.
So he's got 4. Well, and potentially the finals if they manage to make it.
He's got. Let's probably say he's got 4.
Four
He's got 4 more chances to score. He's not going to get to 22, so we're probably going to have to give each other a massage.
No, mate,
I thought we agreed on that.
I'm still in the mix, mate.
What, for 18?
Yeah.
Didn't you say 18?
Yeah, but
you could be.
He could score a couple of doubles. And then if they make the finals, he could be in for another few.
Will they make the finals? They'll make one game in the finals, the Force. They ain't getting past there. I'll say that now.
You'll say that now. Big sweeping statement.
I'll say that now. I'll say, well, Beaver was saying the other day the Blues aren't going to lose again. I'm going to say the Highlanders won't win
you've already
for
said
the rest
that.
of the season.
Yeah, you can reiterate that.
Yeah, I will reiterate that.
Hey, guess who else came back? Yeah, I'm sure you saw him.
Taeli.
No. I was talking about Kurtley Beale.
Oh.
Mate, I had no idea that guy was still playing. I thought he was retired 5 years ago.
Mate, I think he was. Has he come back out of retirement?
Maybe.
Like I'm totally with you. Unless he's been in Japan.
Are they pulling a Swiftie?
He hasn't been in France.
Are they just pulling a Swiftie and just pretending like he wasn't retired?
I mean, I guess so, but is he like Quade? Because where's Quade Cooper at the moment? Is he Japan?
I don't know. He was definitely playing in Japan.
Yeah. I got to say, and then we thought, I was like, shit, he must be old. I looked up, he is only 36.
Yeah.
But I guess that's an elder statesman. But he comes on, he's starting, scores a try. Looked good too. He looked good. You know, the old head on him.
He looks a little bit older.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think he's still got a chance? He's not going to be anywhere near the Wallabies.
I don't know, mate. Well, he'd have to have a pretty good into the season to make it into the Wallabies.
They've got too many good outside backs for the Wallabies now. You got your Tom Wrights, and they don't need him. The Corey Tools, you don't need them.
Like, can you remember any like famous comebacks from like Australian and New Zealand rugby? I mean, I feel like
Stephen Donald.
Yes, Stephen Donald.
Stephen Donald's probably one of the big ones.
And Dan Carter as well.
Yes.
Coming back after 2011 and into the 2015
and
World Cup,
everyone thought he was... Well, that was the most famous one. Everyone thought he'd gone. Yeah. They thought it was over for him. 10 years was
any others?
A bit of a stretch. I can't remember. If anybody listening has some famous...
Yeah. I'd love some good comeback stories.
Send us in your best comeback stories. I mean, yeah, Donald's is great because of what he did when he did it, and the fact that he was down white baiting and all of that. I mean, that's a classic.
And I also love the Carter one because everyone was rubbishing him because he's past it, like and then he just came and played. Yeah. He got didn't he get player of the tournament for the 2015 World Cup?
No, undoubtedly. It was probably. It's funny he bookended it. He was the best. It was the Lions tour of 2005, and then that 10 years apart were his greatest ever performances in the black jersey for sure. Blues looking good. I mean, to be honest, mate, they could keep winning from here. This could be them building just at the right time. Do they have it? I think
I think they could. Like Beaver's right. If they can win every game from now on, they'll definitely make it, and they'll have a little chance because we've talked about this a few times off air about how they've got a better team than what they did last year that they won with. Like they didn't have Bodie last year.
No.
So it's kind of crazy that they're still floundering.
They the floundering at the start for sure is a mystery, but they look like they're moving their way back into being the team we recognised. And fuck, it would be so good if they got in and then won a quarter, end up in a semi. I mean, I guess that's the beauty of the competition.
Hey, what's happening with the crossfield kick? We noticed
it's coming back.
It is in with a grin this round. Like, even just in general play, not even to score a try. Like, because obviously there was a couple of...
you mean using it instead of spinning the ball wide? They're actually going for the kick.
Sean Stevenson did it a couple of times with the Chiefs, and it didn't really come off necessarily, but he definitely got the ball across pretty quick.
Well, they've been practicing those along with the finishing moves, and now they're using them as... I think it's quite obviously in good conditions, a very viable option.
Well, it's more of the Aussie rules or even a leaguey kind of like style of... Yeah, it's sort of technique, I guess.
Yes, just definitely opening up teams down the fringes for sure. Yeah,
Would you back yourself to do a crossfield kick?
Probably. Receive one or
both?
I'd probably back myself to receive the kick more than I would to kick it.
Yeah, I'd be the other way around. Yeah. I'd be more a kicker.
You would, eh?
Yeah, I'd pull a hammy,
but
I've
got the height, and you'd sort of so you and I could
I've got the accuracy.
Yeah. Well, remember when we did a goal kicking competition?
Oh, I was rubbish at that. Yeah, I was bad. I used to be quite good at kicking. I was a kicker in a couple of teams.
Do you know what I'd love to do? Is just go down and have some kicks.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I've got a ball. You want to go down to Greyland Park and have some kicks,
and
mate?
we should get like one of the proper tees.
Mate, you're too busy these days.
All right. Well, so are you, mate. Nah, you're not.
Tomorrow I am.
Tomorrow, are you? And then that's it, for the week.
No. No, I got a lot on.
Really?
A lot on this week.
What, mate?
But leaving early. I'm leaving off for LA early, so.
I thought you said you weren't going for 2 weeks.
Tuesday.
Anyway, we don't need to discuss this. Ra's staying for another couple of weeks, people, and then he's going to LA. We're still going to be doing...
We'll still be doing the podcast.
We're still going to be podding, but he's going to be podding from another country.
Yeah.
Because he's an international guy now.
Hey, always have been, mate.
Wow.
Hey, talk to me about Angus Ta'avao. Speaking of skill set.
This was brilliant, mate. He just he went to kick it out and end the game.
Oh, no.
And he completely missed. It was a full swing and a miss. Like he drops it down to his boot and then boom. And they had to play on. I mean, they were up by a considerable margin, so it didn't really matter.
How embarrassing. He's never going to live that down, man.
He didn't have his glasses on, I guess, because he wears glasses, right?
Yeah, but no, he doesn't ever wears his glasses during the game. I mean, surely he's a contact man.
But did he? I reckon he had his contacts on backwards, round the wrong way.
Someone smacked them out of his head.
Or he forgot to put them on and he's just playing the whole game.
Jesus, yeah.
Blind and just luckily getting away with stuff.
Couple of accidents.
Mostly in the scrum. Tackling a guy, you can see
he's
see
tackling
him
his own players.
You can see him well. Yeah. And then right at the end, he gives it away.
Oh, God.
That was so good.
There's nothing worse than when you do something like that.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, obviously he's a professional rugby player. It's within his skill set to kick the ball out.
Well, maybe he actually can't.
Do you
maybe
play
this
any
is one
golf?
thing about Angus. No.
You playing golf?
No.
I sort of liken it to when you line up for your first tee shot in front of the club rooms of like you're a guest at a club.
Yeah.
And you line up and there's like a bunch of people that are kind of like maybe some people that have already played their round and they're having a beer on the deck.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of other people that are waiting to play behind you and you have to step up and you have to do a massive like driving tee shot. And when you haven't played much golf, that is a very high stress moment.
It is high pressure.
And, there's no better feeling than when you like absolutely rip it down the middle of the fairway. But there's also no worse feeling than when it just dribbles.
Or dribbles.
Just dribbles, like hits the ground and just dribbles down.
It's also that same feeling of trying to back a trailer or at the dump or back a boat down a ramp and everybody's watching. Everybody's watching and you're just like, and of course you only fuck it up. So are we saying that he had the ball and he's like, he could have just given it to... Mate, he could have just ran out.
No,
he didn't have to kick it.
I think it was a full stress moment and he's like, no, I've got this. He fucked it.
He could have just literally... He was right by the sideline. He could have just fallen over.
Yeah,
flopped over like an old seal.
Oh, it's embarrassing. He'd have
Angus... I mean, please, for God's sakes, don't try and kick the ball any further than that.
Hey, speaking of going to the dump, man, we used to go to the dump all the time.
The tip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad
Did you
used
call
to
it
get
the
a
tip? We call it the tip.
I'd go to the dump. We used to go to the dump.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're both verbs in that case, aren't they?
True. Yeah,
tip. We're going to go to the tip.
Tip it off or you dump it.
Yeah, we went to the Silver Stream tip, the seagulls.
Yeah, and
always fucked me off.
The seagulls were pretty rampant.
Yeah, that started my hatred of seagulls, actually.
Yeah.
Never been a fan.
But we were always off to the dump. What happened?
Well,
Did we just put it all on the wheelie bins now?
Well, yeah, that's what I think it is. I think we didn't have the wheelie bins for quite a while in our childhood.
Oh, we had trash sacks.
Yeah, and so you had to just get rid of it more often.
Yeah.
And then obviously they said, we'll come to you, thanks.
We were always clipping trees and taking it to the dump.
Well, that's good. Green waste builds up, obviously, because it's quite large. So you were doing a lot of pruning, or Ta'avao was doing a lot of pruning. Yeah, we were
doing a lot of pruning as a family.
Was it your mum... Was it your mum out in the garden mostly or your dad? Because my dad hated gardening.
My dad loved
much.
it. He was very proud of his garden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was the opposite. My mum, it was mum's garden with her flowers. Like she, looked like an award-winning array of things.
The other way around.
Dad hated anything to do with doing lawns. He made me do the lawns. Like he just couldn't stand it.
I was the lawnmower. I had to mow the lawns every Friday.
Yeah. It's kind of a rite of passage for a young boy in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, operating a piece of machinery with a spinning blade underneath it when you're 11 years old.
Well, my 11-year-old or 12-year-old now nephew uses one of those fly mows.
Oh, yeah.
The plug-in fly mows. Yeah. And he's going at a rate of knots and I'm going, please don't do it. And the cord is hanging out the back and I'm just waiting for the tone. It's like,
oh, God.
By the way, my nephew was one of the guards of honour flag bearers for the Hurricanes Chiefs last night in Wellington.
Why did they have guard bet? Like
Well, the kids stand there with like a club. They represent their club.
Oh yeah, because there was a big club.
It was
round.
club weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
Is
that for everyone?
Yeah.
Were the Chiefs wearing their own club socks?
The Hurricanes were and the Highlanders were today too. I think so. But I guess it's up. Well, I guess it's up to every team. Maybe the Chiefs just don't have enough pride in their local clubs.
Well, they certainly didn't last night. Something happened. They need to step up.
Shout out to Oliver Mailangi.
Is this your nephew?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Oliver.
Very, very good rugby player, actually. Just became co-captain of his under 13s team.
And who's his favourite player? D-Mac, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, actually.
And why is that?
Weirdly, he's like a Chiefs... I don't know if he's a Chiefs supporter anymore.
Hey, mate, he's a good player and they're a good team, and I don't blame him.
He also loves
Oliver,
the Broncos.
I love you, mate. Thank you for your support, and we're going to need it next week. So let's we'll jump on the phone and have a yarn about that game.
Don't worry, mate. We'll teach him. We'll teach him who the real team is.
Hey, the Drua took on the Reds,
and they did it.
Not at Churchill Park this time, but in Suva.
So they can win anywhere in Fiji with a little bit of the Sanganalinga.
Sanganalinga. Not the Sanganalinga.
No, we got.
Sanganalinga.
I think it's Sanganalinga.
I think it's Sanganalinga.
Yeah. Look, I think it's one of those ones almost like Subaru. If you say it fast, the way the Japanese do, it's both. So it's neither Subaru or Subaru. It's Subaru.
Subaru.
So it's sort of both at once. Maybe that's the same with Sanganalinga. If you're Fijian or no, please do tell us if we're saying it wrong.
And it is clear that when the opposition teams land in Fiji, the Sanganalinga effect is just in full force, and they just forget how to do it.
Something is happening. I mean, look, that was a pretty close, tight game.
Yeah.
It was looking good, but yeah, they I mean, this is why they're so exciting and still an amazing part of the competition, albeit the fact that they don't really win anything of consequence. They're just exciting attackers.
Well, it's nice for
and they
them
catch you napping
to get one over the Reds, because the Reds are obviously on the heels of the Crusaders and the Chiefs at the top of the table. So,
and that's going to help the teams coming up below too. It's going to help
a spot for you, mate.
It's going to help the likes of the Hurricanes and the Blues and whoever else wants to claim that.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you want to finish? I was actually thinking of that because we'd play, because the Brumbies are third. I was just thinking who I'd rather go and play. I guess, I mean, ideally you want a home game.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I'd rather go and play the Reds in Suncorp rather than the Brumbies at GIO again.
Well, you'll
just got to say that.
You'll be hoping for some unpopular losses to get a home game.
Oh, ideally.
Yeah.
Ideally.
But I don't think that. I don't know whether that's going to. It might do.
But because at the moment I think we'd be playing the Crusaders if we'd have stopped today.
6th. Yeah. Oh no, 5th. Yes, we'd
be playing the Crusaders.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey, let's not think about it until we're there, because a lot can happen. It's too close, this competition.
Yeah, it is too close, mate. But well done to the Drua, and they've got 2 more home games and then 1 away against the Reds again in Brisbane, which the Reds I think will probably win. I would say, you know how these things go.
But again, the Drua are just like proving that they've got scintillating attack. I stand by this thing that I was talking about, where we just get some defensive coaches in there. Get a few defensive coaches in there. I reckon they're going to be sweet.
And this is the thing; they just win random games. You know, it's so random with them that there's no consistency. So I guess if they do even make the playoffs, I don't know. I don't see it, but good on them, because they're always exciting to watch. Love a day game.
Larkin pulled his big middle finger at the Aussie Rugby Union.
Yep.
Did he what? Him.
Yep. Said, "Fuck yeah,
yeah." Les Kiss.
You can take Les Kiss, and I'll smash the Waratahs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Brumbies have out and out sort of taken that title this year of the best Aussie team, or certainly so far.
They certainly are, and have been for a number of years, and honestly probably will be. They're just a really good franchise, and they'll be there. They'll be there.
They'll be there.
I don't see them beating. Yeah. You know my theory from the start. I see an all-New Zealand final still. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah,
I'm still doubling down on that.
I still think there's going to be a couple of teams maybe in that top 6.
Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Maybe 4 Kiwi, 2 Aussie.
Yeah.
It's the Reds and the Brumbies, isn't it? Yeah. But the Waratahs played well. I mean, they tried to. The Brumbies outclassed them, really.
They actually had some good moments,
game.
The Waratahs. They scored a couple of great tries, but yeah.
Joseph was in there.
He scored a try, didn't he?
Callaway got it. Callaway bagged one at the end.
Hey, how did you go in your fantasy?
Mate.
You've given up, haven't you? Because I've seen you slip down.
Mate, can I just say,
What?
I've given up a little bit.
What about,
It's
did you
because I haven't-
make picks?
Yeah, but I haven't often made them in time again. I've been distracted, busy at work,
But
and then
that's
I've
just
gone,
the first game, right?
Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
can make the picks from there, exactly.
yeah.
But I'm never at the managing to be at the top tier. But where am I in the comp? I haven't even, am I like right last in our group
Oh,
now?
I think you're about 50 points below me now, which is, you've
I'm not
slipped
gonna
off.
I'm not gonna claw that back, am I?
Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean,
I wonder who's going to win though. The 10 grand that you
well,
get.
Bulldog is.
Is he back there?
No, second place in our league now.
Yeah.
So
But
this is what was going to happen, and I think maybe this is what Bulldog was really counting on.
Yeah.
That he just went out and probably used all his boosters. Have you used any of your boosters?
Yeah,
yet?
I used my boosters. And I'm still languaging down at the bottom. Mate, we'll say now though, the winner of our Super Smack League will get a nice little gift out to you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
we'll get a nice little gift out to you, and I'm really looking forward to playing next year too. It was nice to. I'm not a massive fantasy guy.
It's not what I heard.
Wow, what you mean the drug? G
No, I was meaning
chemsex.
I was meaning the porn category.
Oh, what's fantasy? Oh, like witches and wizards and
Yeah.
shit.
In like anime,
Like what do they call it? All the books that the women read, literature.
literature. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's massive at the moment.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
huge.
Have you read
isn't
any
it?
of it?
What? But hang on, why is it massive just now? I feel like that literature has been around. I mean, Mills and Boone. It's
Yeah,
been
but,
around since
mate,
forever.
The smut that's in these new books. Like,
Has Grace read you some?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Liv's read me some.
And you know
I go,
what?
Jesus.
When we were traveling around in a rental car last year, and she chucked some on as an audiobook. Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Oh, that would be an interesting job to
Yeah.
read those as an audiobook.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, are they read by a woman? They must be, right?
I can't remember. No, I don't think so. No,
They're read by a
because
man.
No, because maybe.
What's more sexy? Is it a woman hearing a man's voice read that,
Well,
or a
there's-
woman hearing a woman's
There's
voice?
like a sort of
in a heterosexual way in this instance.
there's this kind of like sort of like a more sort of dominant male sort of situations. I think a lot of the storylines. So I would say it'd probably be better coming from a male.
Would
voice.
you ever go and narrate a smut book?
You think I'd have a good voice for it?
Yeah, I reckon you'd go. Yeah, he ran his hand softly over her thigh and down into her clunge.
Yeah, clunge.
Her clunge began melting.
He released his throbbing member from his trousers.
Her clunge dripped like the wax of
Why
a
are you saying
thousand.
clunge, man? That's disgusting.
I don't know.
This is not sexy.
Clunge was plunged. What is clunge?
I don't know.
Is it
You're the
fanny?
one that's saying it, man.
Okay, sorry. I'm just
I
into
don't know.
All right. Anyway, the Brumbies beat the Waratahs. That's all that's really come out of that game.
Yeah, totally. I think so too. And we had a lovely wee win from Moana.
We did just earlier before this
Yep,
podcast.
we
We were
were.
watching, had the pleasure of watching Moana. What was a real tight game for most of it, back and forth, and then it's really impressive. They've got the mettle to finish the
Yep.
games.
And, it's
and-
still those big players that are stepping up. Though. Those
Artie has
legends.
made a
Waialangi,
massive difference.
Foala.
Yep.
Like that
Danny
midfield
Tuala.
is actually really,
It is
really
good. Yeah,
and
Lalamilo.
amazing at attacking rugby players.
Old
those guys.
two names.
Yes,
Lalamilo.
yes, exactly.
Artie's just immense, man. I mean, I think everyone was apprehensive about him going there, but it's really good to see that, obviously not just for his own career, but he's made a massive difference to the culture of winning.
Yeah,
You know
totally.
what I mean? Because Moana were always good at picking up a thing here and there, but like the consistency of winning is something that's obviously being drilled in, and that's
Do you think
brilliant.
Artie's got better?
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
I think
he looks in some form, man.
he's having to do a bit more, and especially when it comes
He's
to
having
like,
to be active.
yeah, but especially when it comes to things like like you would never have seen Artie chip and chase trying like when he was playing for the Hurricanes, really, mainly because he didn't really need to.
Well, no, he had plenty of other players who would do that for him.
Exactly.
So he's basically going, I've got to lead truly by example.
Well,
here.
yeah, and he's just like no one else is picking up that side of the game, so he's just taking it on his own, on his back, and he's running with it, and it's awesome.
Do you think he loves it, or do you think he's a little bit like, oh guys, just come on?
Nah,
somebody do something.
He is a hungry player. I reckon he loves it.
He's almost on Karifi level in some ways, isn't he?
What do you mean?
Well,
I think Karifi's almost on.
Sorry, what
level.
I mean in terms of like just going 500 miles an hour.
I see what you mean.
They're both like
in terms of intensity.
Their hearts must be huge, just physically massive.
Like Farlap.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a big heart, right?
Yeah, well, he did. Yeah,
That's why he was able to win.
Richie McCaw probably had a big one too.
Yeah, big.
Both
they call them
physically
big
and
engines.
emotionally.
Yeah, he's got. Well, have you seen Richie's documentary?
Yeah, I have.
Like, I mean,
But
the life at home was a little bit dull.
I mean, it doesn't look thrilling. Him and
no, they were talking about chops and how many chops do you want? Do you want 3 chops or do you want 2 chops?
I'll actually get just 4 chops if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's okay, Dale. You can have 4 chops. It means that you won't have one for lunch tomorrow, though. Is that okay?
That's all right. I'll take some popcorn up in the chopper.
Do you want mashed potato or do you want some boiled spuds?
Do you want a couple of snags? Because I know you like them cold the next morning. I can do a couple extra.
No, Richie has a big heart.
He does, and I still very fondly remember being at the last All Blacks game he played at Eden Park. Were you there? Where he got the standing ovation?
No, I saw it on telly.
I watch it now and I tear up. I tear up a bit. He was a great man for the game.
Yep. It's not your fault, mate.
It's not your fault, Will.
It's not your fault, Will.
Don't you do this to me? Don't you do this to me now?
Anyone but you.
So good. Anyway, the Highlanders, oh dear. They're just, They won't win again probably for the rest of the season. They're not going to get past the Hurricanes.
They're done this season.
I think that's the nail in the coffin for the Highlanders today. They needed to win.
So who have
against
they got
Moana
left?
at home. They needed that.
So they've got a bye.
They've got the Hurricanes,
and then they've got the Hurricanes.
They've got the Chiefs. And they got the Crusaders.
Oh god, that is a nasty wee run to the end of the season.
But they haven't done enough at the top, and now that's coming back to bite them.
I mean, I just hope that they don't beat one of us, because they don't need the wins,
mate. It honestly, the way I was going to say the way the Chiefs are playing last night, the Highlanders might very well beat you. The way the Hurricanes
I still
are playing,
don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible either. Have you got them at home as well?
Doesn't matter, does it?
No, and I don't think they'll get past the Hurricanes. Not the way that they're playing. They're just too much firepower in the team.
You need to back it up, though.
We will.
It's an important game.
We will.
It's lucky that you are playing someone that is maybe a little under strength at the moment.
There is too much firepower in that Hurricanes team to not win again. They will.
Oh, they will.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
It just, hopefully.
I love my boys.
I still remember, mate, we've still got that. I know that you're very confident, but if you do slip up against the Highlanders, we will see you in that Highlanders jersey.
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
We are, mate.
Well, we can talk about that.
We're still doing that.
We'll talk about that next week.
And you've missed the beat because I could have been wearing a Hurricanes jersey this week.
It's okay. I don't need to because I'll save it for the next time.
There's actually one more award that I've got.
Okay,
here.
go.
Most improved player.
And I think he gets a little special mention.
Okay, who was it?
Dalton Papali'i.
Yeah, good call, mate.
And I think he actually had a really good game for the Blues.
He's been a little quiet at the top of the season.
He has. But you know what? He's got a lot of competition for that 7 jersey.
He
in the All
does.
Blacks.
He very much does.
And I reckon he's shitting himself a little bit. And now he's going, okay, boys, he's coming to the back end of the season and he's going to go hard.
Yeah, if he's watching some of those other games, he'll be going, I need to step up. But there's a reason he's been in and around that conversation. He is a good player, Dalton. I mean, I've been the first to call maybe get him out, and but he's got experience in the camp. He's big. And he's just really handsome.
Is he? Do you like him?
Nah, yeah,
Is he your type?
Nah, I'd say my type's more, kind of him and Brad Shields.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you like a Caucasian man?
Yeah, love big Caucasian man.
Caucasian man, a little bit sort of gruff, like bit of facial hair.
Yeah.
Much like yourself, mate.
Yeah.
You like yourself.
So I'm in love with myself. I would look, they'd look really good in sort of a Viking costume,
Yeah.
At a dress-up party, that kind of thing.
I'd go for someone that's just got a nice smile.
Which again is much like yourself.
True. Like
Yeah.
I always like the Daniel Ricciardo from F1 was always a big one for
Yes.
me.
Oh, he's lovely. Mate,
Sweetheart.
do you ever look?
Cheeky.
Do you ever look at yourself in the mirror and just smile? Like, do you ever go? You're in the morning and just doing like this, and then you just go.
Not consciously. Maybe. Yeah, I might give myself a little smile.
I
just
remember-
to warm myself up for the day.
I remember you looking in the mirror once in Sydney,
Oh, do you?
and
What did I say?
and you went, "I look like an old woman."
Yeah, that was substance abuse, man.
Yeah, I know. That was very funny though. And I turned around and I was like, "You do." You did look like a middle-aged woman. It was really weird. All right.
Hey, next week we've got the Drua versus the Blues, and that's in Suva. So, I mean, I know Beavers put it out there that the Blues aren't going to lose another game, but that's going to be a tough win.
What are our picks?
I'm
What are we
going.
going?
I
Blues
am-
Drua.
I'm going Blues. I think the Blues are going to take it, and I think, but for the same reason that you guys really showed up last night and wiped your ass with us. I think they're going to do the same. They really need the win to get into that top 6.
They're going to be hungry for it?
Yep, they're going to turn up hungry.
I'll call Blues too.
Okay. Waratahs Reds in Sydney.
I mean, I think the Reds...
They
I
need
think
to come back.
I think the
They
Reds need to
bounce
come back, and they are a better, more dominant team. I think it's been shown so far this season. So I'm going to go Reds. That's Reds.
I'm calling this one the game of the round, which is the Chiefs Crusaders and
Well,
Christchurch.
it definitely is.
And
you need...
Yeah.
You need to win this one,
ideally,
mate.
what we need is a bloody bonus point win.
Yeah, well, gee, okay. So you've come back from we don't really need to beat the Hurricanes to now we need to beat these guys with a bonus
I never said
point.
that we don't need to beat the Hurricanes.
Well, you pretty
I
much did.
said that it's not a must-win game for our season.
Brilliant.
Like we don't need to win that game to get into the playoffs.
Well, not to get into the playoffs.
No, that's
but mate,
what I'm talking about.
You're not talking about being in the playoffs. You
did.
want to be number one.
No, I
Don't
want to
you?
be in the top 2. I don't actually care much if we're not number 1.
Well,
I just want that extra game in the playoffs.
Well, what are you calling?
I'm calling Chiefs bonus point win.
Okay, against the you're mad, mate. You've lost your mind.
No, I want to go in confident this
Okay.
week. Like, I was a bit shaky all week for the Chiefs, and what I've done is I've done a disservice to my team, and I'm going to get right in
Jesus
behind them this
Christ.
week.
Okay.
I'm just going to go hard for it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna call the Crusaders, and I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna call them. I'm just
You just
saying
call
that-
them up, say,
Hey, Crusaders.
hey guys, hey Gareth here,
Gareth here. Hey, could you beat the Chiefs for
and
me?
they would go, hey mate, can you fuck off?
Yeah.
Like who do you think you are calling us down here? Where are you from?
Wellington.
Yeah, and you can fucking stay there, mate. Get out of
Is
Christchurch.
this Rob Penny that's being that aggressive, or is it an assistant?
It's probably an assistant.
Yeah. And then Rob Penny comes and grabs the
Yeah,
phone and
is
goes, sorry about
No,
that,
sorry,
Gareth.
sorry about that,
That's
Gareth. Hey,
really
Rob
rude.
here, Rob
hey,
here.
Sheila, fuck off.
Yeah, and mate, we're going to send you up a couple of jerseys.
Please. It's fully signed.
Fully signed.
Which is actually, and then I just go,
Nah, you
to
can
be
keep
honest,
them.
you can keep them. I don't want a fully signed Crusaders jersey, mate. But my prediction is that the Crusaders will win at Apollo Projects, and then you're really going to have to do some looking in the mirror.
And then we'll win the other
You'll
2
definitely
games.
be wanting
and
to
we'll probably
smile in the
still
mirror.
finish second.
Well, let's hope so.
Force Brumbies and Perth. I think the Brumbies have got that, don't they?
Yeah, although the Force and Perth coming off the back of 2 losses might be hungry. I'm going to call the Force.
Okay.
I'm going to call the Force.
It would be handy because it means that we got, again, a little bit more of a buffer in the sort of top 5.
Yeah.
Because the Brumbies are in 3rd.
I'm going
now,
to call what could be a little upset there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you're still listening, tune in next week. We got round 13. We got 4 more rounds before the finals, and it's going to be very, very exciting.
All
shaping
critical games.
up, shaping up as a
Here
who.
on in.
It's anybody's title at this point.
Thanks for listening.
Hooroo!
Hooroo.
Up the Canes.
Keep that.